Hi there. So today's video a bit longer than usual, so I hope you got a drink and you're sitting comfortably. We're going to use this really fantastic mould. It's a whale or maybe a dolphin. Gonna use the chrome powders again from Let's Resin. No apologies for the repetition of use of these. Still fully in love with them. They're gorgeous, but you can use whatever colours you want. Now, yeah, confession time. I tried doing this once, didn't like the effect, wiped it all off, turned the mould inside out, and then did what you can see I'm doing now. So certain bits of this video have also been sped up. That is just because it took time. There were quite a few pieces involved, as you will have seen from the thumbnail. And yeah, you don't want to sit watching me brushing chrome powders onto moulds for 15 minutes. So there we go. Explanation done and dusted. Pardon the pun. Right, so just making sure applying all of this beautiful bluey green coloured chrome powder all over the mould, getting it all over my gloves as well and my work area, but there we go, it is what it is. So I thought I'd got everything covered, turned it inside out, realised I hadn't, put a bit more in. Now this is just some regular epoxy resin, 1:1 mixing ratio that I made up. Added in some more of that stunning chrome powder and stirred it in thoroughly. Made sure it was thoroughly mixed in before pouring it into the resin. Obviously you can see all the little bubbles there just dispersing coming to the top. Now also added in a little bit of that Vista black pigment and again mixed it in. Now I didn't mix it in this fast because, as I said, bits of this video we've had to speed up. Stir it in gently and smoothly, steadily. So I'm just going to pour this in now. Look at that beautiful, I would say this is petrol blue coloured. I know petrol isn't coloured blue, but there's a petrol blue. It's a mix between what colours would you say? Probably a real deep inky bluey black colour. There we go, that's better, isn't it? And I've poured a little bit into the top, into the bottom of the mould, which is where it's fin. Is it dorsal fin that's on the back? And just use stir stick, pressed the resin down into it gently, and then topped it back up. Now, those eagle-eyed of you will see some of the resin looks a different colour. It is, because I didn't make up enough. Usual story. So made up some more, didn't add the black pigment, just added in the chrome powder, which is why you can see the colour change there. Used a little coffee stir stick to go around the edge just to make sure that there are no bubbles. Now this is the demold stage. Now yes, I've already got it partially demolded. A little bit stiff. It was a brand new mould, so I got the help of Wayne. Wayne, if you've watched our videos before, is also one of the other creators here for lottiejasminedesigns. He's also my partner in real life. There we go. You'll know his hands when you see them. So, just demolding here. Already noticed, unfortunately, that there are a couple of places where the chrome powder, for whatever reason, didn't adhere to the surface of the mould. So we've got a few difference in shades and variations of colours. Can you see there on his fin there, a little bit on the tail? Not worried about that on the tail because that looks almost silvery and it's sort of like the same on both sides, so fine with that. But there's some other little places there on the sides. Need to just remove the sharp edges from the base, and I'm going to use that by using this deburring tool. Now you'll have seen us use these before in our videos. If not, why not check out our playlist? Mainly how to make videos. We do a few collaborations. We did one a few weeks ago now in association with Claire's Crafty Corner, and yeah, beautiful piece was made then. And also obviously there were a lot of other artists that took part in that collaboration, so why not check out their videos as well. Right, if I haven't said it already, anything that we've used in today's video, materials wise, wherever possible, we will link in the description box for you, so it'll take you to the places where you can make your purchases if you decide, yeah, that looks like something I'd be interested in, have a go at doing, and then have a go at making it yourself. Of course you can use any colour combination. of either chrome powders, mica powders, or just opaque coloured resins that you want to. If you think to yourself, well, actually, I love it, but I haven't got the time to make it myself and I really want it, then why not check out our website? This item will be up for sale on our website, along with the others that are in this video. And yeah, ready for you to purchase should you wish. Alternatively, if I think this video will have gone out after we've done our most recent craft fair, he will also be at the craft fair. If he sold at the craft fair before selling on the website, then apologies, but why not direct message us, and because we can always make them to order for you. Right, here we go, back to the video. So we've taken off that little sharp edge along the bottom. There's also an indent for his mouth and a couple of places where you'd put his tiny little eyes, and I've decided to detail those using the Deco Colour pen. Now this is silver chrome and it gives a chrome mirror-like effect usually. Now all I've done, as you can see there, I've decided not to use the pen itself to start with. I'm going to have a go at using this really fine tip brush. So I've just got some of the ink or the chrome paint out of that pen, put it on the silicone mat next to me, and then dipped the paintbrush into it and using it to apply it to the mouth. Now the way you get the chrome paint out with these pens, they come and you'll see the nib is it's white or clear. That nib goes in and out. If you apply pressure to it and put it on a surface and apply pressure, it will go in and out, and the colour drains down through the nib part that you can see, and it will then be ready to use. If you do that continually, about 4 or 5 times, up and down, up and down, up and down, onto the surface of the silicone mat, it will bring out a little pool of the paint, and you dip your brush in that and then you apply it like I'm doing now. Alternatively, if it's a fine enough tipped nib of the pen that you've got, then you can always just use the pen itself. Here we go with the eyes. Now they are tiny, and of course you don't have to use the colours I'm using to do this. You could just use black, you could use a black pen, or you could leave them blank, or if you've got a couple of little rhinestones, you fancy a little bit of sparkle, you could maybe do his eyes in 2 tiny little rhinestones if you've got those. There we go. So just finishing off the mouth here again, trying to neaten it up a little bit. So moving on, this is his friend, the seal or sea lion. It is a beautiful mould, and I've decided just to use this one colour. This is the silvery coloured chrome powder from Let's Resin, and it gives a real like opalescency effect to it. So, warning alert, beware for some lots and lots, or not some, lots and lots of sparkle. Now this was a time lapse. This took me a while. Apologies for the overexposure on the film in the top left there. We're sort of fighting with lots of natural light at the moment, which is lovely, don't get me wrong. So we've also got octopus. Now I used a selection of the colours that I'd used already in the whale or dolphin and the seal or seal lion to then put it into this beautiful smaller octopus mould. Now this is gorgeous, this mould, absolutely stunning, quite 3D like, which is lovely. And yeah, just using the same technique, applying the powder and then remembering to give it a damn good tap down on your surface the other way around to get rid of any excess. And of course I couldn't do the small one and not do the big one, the Big Daddy mould of octopus. Hopefully you've checked out our previous video where we've used this mould and the smaller one, and it created a beautiful like rainbow effect with the chrome powders that we used then. I have to say the smaller one of that version has sold. This bigger one possibly as well, in the rainbow effect, not this one, the rainbow effect. But if you ever want anything custom made colours using chrome powders that we have, then we can always, direct message us and we will of course oblige you. They'll be exactly the same price What you would have to pay though, obviously, is postage and packaging. So don't forget, if you haven't seen us, we in real life, as it were, we do sometimes do a craft fair at Corsham Craft Market. It's the first Saturday of every month. This video is probably going out after we do our next one, which is the first Saturday in July. Apologies if this has gone out afterwards, but as I said, if this hasn't sold, it will be listed on the website, and if you want to purchase it, then just follow the instructions on the website and we will get it sent out to you. If you want it made in a different colour, we are going to make up some samples of how the chrome colours look individually. Pick the colour you want or the combination of colours, direct message us, and we will give you a quote as to how much that will cost. As I said, usually the same price, but obviously you'll have to pay postage and packaging. So here we go. This is the seal. We've finished dusting everything with the chrome powders. This is us pouring a little bit of the resin into the seal. Now, it's a 1-to-1 mixing ratio with our resin. It's Tea Expert, just our brand of choice. Just happens to be the one that we use. Not sponsored at all by any of the products or the brands of products that we use in this video. Added in some of that silver chrome powder and a little bit of the white pigment paste. Mixed it all up to create this colour resin. And here we go with the octopus. Exactly the same thing. Pouring a bit in, giving it a squidge. There we go. Just squidge the head of that a bit. There we are. There we go. You can see me doing that. Now, you know, be wary. This octopus takes a lot more resin than maybe you'd think. That's just because you need to make sure it all gets into the head. The head is quite round. It's quite bulbous. You need to give it a good squidge just to make sure you get rid of all the air bubbles that might become trapped. So just finishing it off now, and then going to go round the edges of this mold with a micro brush. So just makes sure that the resin gets to every little end of this octopus tentacles. There we go. Just going in and round, making sure it's there. As you can see what I'm doing now, it also stops any of the bubbles collecting at the edges or in those corners at the ends of the tentacles. And then, you know, if you don't do this, you do run a risk of it not going straight to the edges of the mold, and then you end up with little air pockets, which can ruin the effect and the finish. Now, yes, pouring the resin into the octopus, didn't have enough resin, so then had to make some more up, which you won't see me do, I've done off camera, and then just pouring it in, topping it up. Slightly different colour, unfortunately, but that really doesn't matter. The overall effect is exactly what I wanted with this. Again, take your time pouring the resin in, just a slow, steady stream. It's just make sure as well that it doesn't encourage more air bubbles into the resin, because that's not what you want. So I'm just moving it off that little centerpiece there, because you really don't want resin on that if possible. So just pouring it down, encouraging it again like we did with the smaller octopus into the ends of those tentacles, or octopus's legs and tentacles. Just making sure it's all going down. And I'm just using, because it's a much bigger mould, I'm just using a stir stick there to do that. But by all means, use what you feel comfortable using, whether it's a silicone tip tool or a micro brush or just a smaller stir stick. Totally up to you what you use. So just topping it up a little bit, making sure it's up to the surface of the mould. There we go. So demold time. Literally less than 24 hours later, because we're having a real warm spell at the moment over here in the UK. So these moulds, first time of using, they're a bit stiffer than I'm used to, and I thought, oh great, you know, it's coming off, it's doing really well. I persevered and persevered, as you can see, and in the end tagged in Wayne. So Wayne to the rescue. And got it off. Now we've got that little sharp edge there, unfortunately, again, but look at the opalescent shine of this beautiful chrome powder. So just going in, using the deburring tool again to get rid of that sharp edge off of the bottom of this seal or sea lion. It's gorgeous. I love this piece. Love the effects. of the chrome powder as well. Real opalescence sort of shine and shimmer to it. Holographic, there we go. Holographic sort of look. Be gorgeous. So if you joined us today, thanks for joining. If you are one of our self-subscribers and you're watching, thank you for coming back. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up if you've enjoyed the video. If you've done these molds yourself before or anything similar, why not let us know in the comments. Tell us what colours you used. Did you do anything differently to what we've done? Have you used mica powders rather than chrome powders? What do they look like if it's a solid, just pigment based resin that you've used? Perhaps maybe you've done them using foil or the faux foil flakes, or mylar papers, or maybe you filled them full of shells and things like that. Let us know, you know, and what your results were like. There we go. So we're just demolding the octopus. If you haven't subscribe to our channel, why not subscribe? It's free to do so. We usually upload videos twice a week on a Friday and a Sunday at 5 p.m. UK time. They're usually less than 25 minutes long, but this one's got quite a few pieces to it, so this video does go just over 25 minutes. They're usually below 20 minutes, our videos, but they're how to make ones with the odd collaboration here and there with other artists. So there we go. Look at that. That is stunning. So that was using three or four different colours of the chrome powders, and there it is with the seal and the whale. Look at those. So I hadn't forgotten about demoulding the large octopus. It is a big boy. It's a big mould. Now some of the tentacles on this, or the legs of the octopus, are still a little bit bendy. I did speed up this clip because it took me a while. You can also see Mr. Seal. I'm going to call him Seal, not Sea Line. In the top right hand corner there. Excuse the work area, it is a little bit messy and crowded. I was doing about 5 videos at once, or at the same time, but look at that. Absolutely stunning. Love the effects, but do think at this point it needs a little bit something extra. Got a little bit tidying up to do with a deburring tool around the edges, and also with a little pair of very sharp scissors that I've got, which are great for just snipping off those very thin layers of over pour that you've got with resin if you do that. And unfortunately sometimes, you know, it happens. So there we go. I'm just going in with the scissors. If you joined us in the live chat, hi to everybody joining us in the live chat and the premiere. Why not join us and comment? Are you enjoying the video? Are you, have you done this before or not? So I thought he needed a little bit more decoration just to elevate it a little bit, and so I used my one of my favourite pens again, the silver pen, the Decor colour pen, and just applying it to the eyes of the octopus there. We are just literally doing that like that. Again, this section of the video has been sped up because, I took my time doing this. It's got had a lot to do still on it, and you don't want to sit and watch me do this for like forever. So as at this point I decided also I would do the sucker parts detail on his legs, or his tentacles there. I think they're called suckers. And I went in and I did all of those. There's not footage of me doing all of them, just a few there, because obviously you don't need to sit and watch me do that. So the little octopus, he needs just a little more definition, I think. And I'm only going to do this on his eyes. So I'm just on the raised sections there of his eyes. I'm just going in with the Decor pen, just colouring them over there, just making them a little bit more silver. It's not over the top. They don't stand out brightly, but it's just enough to make them a bit more of a feature. So here we go, a bit of a close-up here of where I've gone in with the silver pen on the big octopus. There he is in all his grandeur. Opalescent shine and brilliance of those chrome powders really, really showing through there. And that's the two of them together. Looking stunning. Now, Wayne to the rescue with this lovely little, I'm calling him a whale because he's a bit round, but he could be a dolphin. And where I've got some marks on the piece itself, on the sides, we came up with an idea of applying some of these miniature silver coloured shells that we've got, and he's using a equivalent of super glue, should we just say, and he's using a micro brush there, applying it to the lovely little whale himself, or the dolphin, and then picking up each one of these little individual shells and applying them to where he's put the glue. Now, he said to me, I just left him to do this. I said to him about the idea of it and then said, could you fix it for me? And of course, Wayne to the rescue. Thank you, Wayne. Love you. He does come to my rescue, and he puts quite a few on. I wasn't expecting him to put quite so many on, but he did. And he said to me, it's like seeing them where they've got barnacles on them. So that's where obviously they've got little mollusks. If they've been in the ocean for a long time, build up on them, perhaps making the whale making the whale their own little home. Just having a few problems trying to pick that one up with some tweezers. There we go. And he just continues on to do these for me, apply these little additional decoration. Of course, you don't need to do this. We did it because I was very aware of the fact we'd got the colour, the difference in colour. Oh, they're escaping from him there. Of where maybe the chrome powder hadn't quite got to the mould, or hadn't adhered to the mould in quite the way it had elsewhere within it. No idea why that happened. Absolutely no idea at all. But yeah, he's just carefully doing that. Now we have got some difference in colour on the tail of this lovely little creature. That's absolutely fine because it's quite equal on both sides. So I was fine with that. But not on the sides where we've got what look like little scrapings of it sort of missing. So there we go. Can you see the effect that he was going for there? I think they look really stunning. So I said, well, you're going to have to put a few on the other side as well. Doesn't have to be completely symmetrical, but he does need to have a few other bits. So he looked at it a bit more carefully, decided where it also needed to have other pieces put. I'm just realised you can see his reflection, can't you, in that? That is how shiny these pieces are. But there we go. You're just popping that on there and then doing another one. This is almost on like the central part of his head, going up towards his fin on the back, on his back there. There we go. I'm calling him a whale because he's rounded, but he probably is supposed to be a dolphin. Right, here we go. We're almost done, I think, with this one. A few more bits to put here. Can you see those little speckles? You may not be able to see them, but there's a bit just up from his eye. Okay, you can see he had patience of a saint. A few problems just trying to pick up these lovely little pieces of silver coloured shells. These were purchased from Amazon, and as I've said before, I think probably a couple of times in this video, apologies, repeating myself, everything that we've used in today's video, wherever possible, will be linked in the description box for you. He will be up for sale along with his little friends that appear in this video via our website. If you look and it says that he's sold, please don't worry. If you still want one, then you can contact us. There is there'll be a wait time though from the date we get your order till the day we can dispatch of about 2 weeks. And that's just so that we can make the piece for you, let it cure completely, and do the postage then out to you. Obviously, you'll be liable for postage and packaging. There we go. So here we are with the final shots. There's the big octopus. Now this was with the main overhead light off. This is with it on. Look at that glimmer. Look at the shine. Oh, we also put some little embellishments of shells on him too, just so he didn't feel left out. Just 2 or 3 there, I think, or actually 6. But that's the big octopus. He's gorgeous. And here is the smaller version with his beautiful piercing silver eyes. Absolutely stunning. Love it. And these are just placed on a black canvas just purely for filming purposes. And here he is, the whale, with his little silver shell barnacles on him as well. He's absolutely beautiful. Wayne, you did a good job putting those lovely little silver barnacles on him. Absolutely stunning. And here we are, the seal. Now this is with our overhead light on. Look at the opalescent glimmer and shine. And here we go. This is the final shot of all of them together, the gang all together. The small octopus, the whale, the larger big daddy octopus, and the beautiful seal. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. Give us a like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you again in a few days with another video. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.